Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I'm pretty disappointed with Wave's overall production, but I want to see if she's at least good here. So we're going to put her up with Namor to see how well she can make him with the 60% all attack, the 6% all speed, which basically almost caps him out, in addition to the Striker, the tier 2 bonus, which buffs his damage against villains and the damage reduction against villains. And then we're going to stack that with Shuri. She's basically almost as good of a lead slash support as Nick Fury, which is pretty wild. So she loses about 10 to 15% on the damage increase. I believe Nick Fury is 55% and she's either 45 or 40. And she doesn't give the immunity to incapacitation to Namor, but she does give, instead of 50% all attack, she gives 60% all attack in addition to the 6% all speed, which is really, really nice. And so all of that, combined, I think honestly makes her as good, if not better, for Namor than Nick Fury. So while I don't think that Wave is a particularly good... there we go. Let's get some damage going. Well, I don't think Wave is a particularly good tier 2. She may hold the key to getting the most out of your Namor. So someone actually posted it in the comments of YouTube on the video yesterday for Wave, specifically like, you know what? You should tier 2 Wave if you have a tier 3 Namor. And I honestly think that's not a bad idea. Now that does sort of open the door towards more characters basically being synergy characters, which means that, standalone, they're not very good, but when you put them in a specific situation, in a synergy with another character, or possibly a group of characters, they become much better. That's definitely a possibility for Wave, and, she may be able to really push Namor to new heights. So it's an interesting topic. I've discussed it quite a bit because I used to follow, and I still do kind of follow Concepts of Champions, and they take heavy advantage of synergy and how putting together a team with specific characters who have, generally speaking, in-game and comic book relations, or even MCU relations, can generate you a lot more power. So I want to see if that's exactly what Wave can do for Namor, if she can generate enough power for him to really smash through. We should be getting the next phase here. I think he can do this regardless of whether we have Wave specifically. So I'm not saying, you can't clear the stage without Wave, but she definitely does help. And on top of that, if you are, perhaps missing some other leaderships or missing some other supports, she can double on supports, and she also frees up a leadership. Now, it's not necessarily, again, a reason to spend, 750 crystals at minimum for, wow, we're doing quadruple spears, eh, Proxima? That's interesting. Anyways, that's not necessarily a justification for getting Wave and ranking her up and doing all this, but it's honestly not the worst idea if you specifically have a tier 3 Namor and other tier 3s, because it frees up a spot for you not only against, for example, World Boss Ultimate, but also against Galactus GBR. Rather than having to take in Nick Fury, I can save Nick Fury for another clear here, or there, and then I can use Wave specifically for Namor. So it actually works on a bunch of different levels, and it works in different content, which is really quite nice. If future content comes out that also benefits from that, and having multiple strong teams rather than just one that you use all for all the content, then yeah, that would continue to prove itself to be a valuable reason to get Namor and to get Wave specifically. So we're gonna finish this off here. We don't want to kill her because of the other fight that I want to do, but we would have finished this in about 3 minutes and change. 3 minutes and change. We would finish with about 140, 135, possibly a minute 30 left. So that's actually not bad at all. It's quite good. I made a mistake with a lot of the procs. I could have definitely timed them better, but now let's go into another very challenging stage and let's see how Namor does. This is basically just a Namor test. This is not really for Wave, but you know what? If Wave's helping Namor out, that would be great. The only thing that I think is missing, besides me misclicking, is that they don't have a team up. Despite the fact that she has a leadership that specifically applies to Namor, which makes a lot of people think of these two characters right here. And it makes sense if you think of these two characters, right here and right here. It says right there, applies to Doctor Doom, an extra 20% or 25% energy attack and a 20% decrease to damage received. And then they also have a team up. So you would expect the same thing from, you would expect the same thing from Namor and Wave, but you don't get that. So it's a bit strange. I'm not exactly sure why that is. We want to drop these all defense down strikers because we don't need them, and we just want the hardest hitting strikers possible. So we're actually going to get, you know what? We actually want the healing. I think we are going to take the healing this time around. We're actually going to drop Deadpool as well. Where the heck is Sharon Rogers? We need her. She's great. And the one thing I think is interesting, and it opens the door, characters like Wave, characters like Victorious, even characters like Thing, where their tier 2 passive applies to only specific characters. I would like to start to see these types of synergy characters providing things other than just stat buffs, other than being basically a stat stick. That's what Wave is. She's a stat stick for Namor. For those of you that have played ARPGs before, a stat stick is basically an item that doesn't necessarily have like an interesting ability. It doesn't necessarily do something powerful, like give you damage reduction or create summon a monster to fight for you, but it basically gives your character a bunch of extra stats. And so that opens the door for your character to, maybe use other items that have less stat buffs, but have other really strong effects, because usually that's kind of the sacrifice. And you can kind of see that in Marvel Future Fight, characters that have lots of different buffs, or lots of different effects don't necessarily have high stats. Like let's take Deadpool, for example. Deadpool has really strong effects. He's got the all defense down, etc., but his stats are quite low. That's not necessarily the best example. She runs really fast. Holy crap. That's not necessarily the best example, but that's basically what Wave is to Namor. She's a stat stick. And other characters like Victorious are also stat sticks. On top of having all of those other buffs, she also gives, look at that damage, beautiful. She also gives a 30% HP boost at tier 2 to all allies. So Victorious is a huge stat stick. And it would be really cool to see, for example, let's say a support character. Let's say they gave a uniform to Heimdall, and then Heimdall has a synergy with Thor. Let's say Thor and maybe also Odin, and you can even go further than Thor and Odin. Well, whatever. Let's say those two characters, and then when you have them on the team and they get hit, there's a 30% chance that when they get hit, not Namor, sorry, that Heimdall will heal them for 15% HP. So that could be a synergy specifically for those characters to kind of work together. We might actually, we were really, really lucky there that we didn't die. He did that ground pound, that ground slam move. I was quite lucky to not take too much damage and not get hurt. But yeah, oof. She is really fast. That is one thing that I just noticed. She's super, look at this. She runs so fast. She's displacing the enemy's animations when they spawn to attack her. She runs really fast. She's like Roadrunner. That's cool. Guys, do you want to tier 2 a character because they're fast? I know you do. I know you do. You definitely do. You're like, oh man, you know what? I only tier 2 the fastest characters. No. But, oh, you're taking damage now, buddy. I see you with the lasers. We are going to get this kill on Thanos because I do want to kill this big purple fruit. And man, the damage is sublime. We just don't want to... shoot. We got to switch here. We don't want to get hit by the meteors, and we don't want to get hit by the purple lines. I can't... Dude, she runs so fast. Am I like imagining things, or does she run like obscenely fast? Yeah, I don't want to... Yeah, that's what I'm afraid would kill me. I'm going to pick up some heals here. He's still pretty tanky, though. Oh, no. Okay, we're okay. We're safe. We're safe. We're safe. Pick up that heal. He moves fast too. Is it the all speed? Is it her leadership that makes her that fast? Why is she so fast? I have to know. I feel like I'm unlocking a mystery. I'm serious though. Why is Wave so fast? What is he doing? He's just standing there. Oh, he's doing the lasers? Easy, dude. Lasers are your worst skill, Thanos. Goodbye. Bro, learn a new skill. Noob. Noob. Talking shit to the Mad Titan himself. I almost want to kill him, but I'll let him rain down the meteors. Dude, we got this. Easy. 4-minute clear. Boom. Right in your face. Hell to the yeah. So, Namor's amazing. You already knew that, but he's even more amazing when you can pair him with Wave and, in this case, Shuri. Very nice. We got some CCF. We got some extra Essence of Dimension. I would love to see some more synergy characters like Wave. It hurts that Wave is so bad as a standalone character, but at least she has that value of making Namor punch even harder. But I would really encourage, and I would love to see Netmarble take advantage of, yeah, it's only 40%, it's not 45, what the hell. I would love to see Netmarble take advantage of these synergies and do more creative things. Applies to Namor, 60% chance to heal for 20% when taking damage. Just really cool stuff like that. It won't be broken if they do it properly. And you know what? To be honest, at this point, I don't think Netmarble knows. I think they've forgotten how to make broken characters. Jean Grey aside, a lot of the characters have been super balanced lately. Silver Surfer, I think, is pretty OP, but still, he does have his weaknesses, so he's not, completely uber busted. But I would say, you know what? Go nuts with it. I think the synergy system is really cool. It encourages us to build up different characters, and who knows? There's probably a lot more people that are going to tier 3 Namor and then get Wave, but there may be some people who got Wave who are like, man, you know what? I'm not really happy with her production. Cynicalex is right, or, some other YouTubers right. Maybe I do want to tier 3 Namor, because then I can, I at least feel like I'm getting more out of my Wave when I play with her. She's still good as a support character. I'm trying to find Valkyrie here. She's still pretty much as good as Valkyrie. She's 5% less increase, and she only applies to hero allies, whereas Valkyrie applies to all allies. So technically speaking, Wave is the worst support hero in the game. Yeah. I mean, you could argue that she's better than White Fox because she applies to all hero allies, whereas White Fox only applies to hero allies who have the leadership buff, which is with the leadership ability, which is only about like 30 or 40 characters, maybe less. So you could argue that she's as good as White Fox, but we all know that White Fox is a lot better in a lot of other ways. So, I mean, as a standalone character. So then it really comes down to, your personal opinion. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the synergies ideas. Let me know what you think of Namor completely smashing a stage 69 and a stage 39 of Thanos. Dude puts in a ton of work. Would you tier 2 Namor? Would you tier 2 Wave just for your tier 3 Namor? Sound off in the comments down below. Also, let me know who you think I should take this CTP of energy off and give to, because once I do my comparison between her, White Fox, and Arachnite, this shit is gone. Hit me up in the comments, subscribe if you enjoy the content, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you later today. Take care.